You know you're filming a book haul when your shelf looks like this. It's a hot mess, just like me. Hey, what's up, hello, my name is Emma, and today I'm giving you guys a massive book haul. Don't be mad at me, Emma. So the good news is, depending on whether or not you enjoy watching my videos, is that I wasn't gone for 5 months this time. I was only gone for 3 weeks. And that's still not good. I'm still at a solid level of mediocrity, but I'm getting better. And that's what matters. And as you can tell, today we are doing a book haul. This is probably the biggest book haul that I've done in a while. There's like over 20 books, I think. I'm just gonna rush through this so I can get through all these titles without this being an hour-long video. So the first book we have here is Obsidian by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. And this is the final book in the Illuminate files, which I personally love. It's this amazing, action-packed sci-fi outer space series about these badass kids who have to save the universe again and again, and an evil artificial intelligence robot. And this is the last book in the trilogy, and it features all of the stories told in the previous novels coming to a big conclusion together. There's like a crescendo of shit hitting the fan, and it was spectacular. The next book I have here is Down and Across by Arvin Armadi, and this is a contemporary novel about a boy who just quits everything in his life. And then one time on a trip to Washington, D.C., he meets this girl, and she gives him a bike, and it inspires him to end up being this like wild, live-on-the-edge person who's living his best life. And it sounds really touching and emotional, and Arvin Armadi's an awesome guy, so I'm looking forward to reading this novel. And the next thing I have here is The History Is All You Left Me paperback by Adam Silvera. If this looks familiar, it's because the hardcover came out, and it looks a lot like this. We already read the book. I say we because I assume you have, because I've recommended it numerous times. And it's about 2 boys who are in love, but one boy breaks up with the other boy and then moves across the country, starts dating someone else, and dies. And then this story picks up there, telling the story of before and after and how people's lives are once this person is gone. Then we have The Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda movie tie-in edition with Nick Robinson's face on it, if you enjoy that. I'm not even going to explain what this is. It's Simon, guys. Simon! And then we've got Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman, and it is a signed copy, and I picked up the first book a long time ago, Scythe, because I was hearing good things about it. I think Maggie Stiefvater recommended it, so I was like, mine now? And I really enjoyed Scythe, and I like this one slightly less, but I think this is amazing, amazing writing. It's this really original and fresh dystopian series, which you don't see a lot nowadays, so I'm really excited to see the 3rd book and how this all concludes. And then I have All of This Is True by Lygia de Peñaflor. So this is like a book nerd's dream. It's these kids who are obsessed with this author, and then one day they get the chance to meet her and spend time with her and like be friends with her, and they're like, whoa, this is amazing. And it turns out she was taking all the stories that they were telling her and their lives and making it into her next novel. And so there's lies and there's the truth, and people don't know what's real, and people are getting blamed for things, and the spine on the actual book is the crossed out name of the novel she wrote, and I just think that's really awesome. And then I've got Nevermore Wake by Marisha Pessl, and this is, I think, the first young adult book from Marisha Pessl. She's known for her adult books like Night Film, and this is one mind-bender of a book. It's about these people who have a near-death experience, and so they're sort of living in between life, and while they're living in between they need to solve this mystery and decide which one of them survives in the real world, and it was just a brain roller coaster. Yes. I cannot believe I haven't hauled this book yet in hardcover form, but this is Zenith by Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cummings. I've talked about this many a time. It's a badass space female crew pirate story about girls who have to escape a bounty hunter and save the universe. And I just love both of those ladies so much. And the sequel was just announced, and it's a duology, so pick it up, guys. And the next book we have here is Restore Me. Does it look... It's not working? Oh. This is the 4th book in the Shatter Me world. It's the first in a new trilogy by Taha Mafi, and it picks up immediately after where the last books left off, with Juliet and her friends in some new positions, I guess is a good way to put it without any spoilers, and it's as romantic and angsty as any Taha Mafi book you would ever expect, but with superpowers. And then we have the sequel to Simon, Leah on the Offbeat. And can I just say, I hope to someday be able to have the swagger that Leah has on the cover of this book. And this follows our favorite students from Creekwood High, somewhat right after Simon ends, and it's told from Leah's point of view this time, and it shows them going through senior year, and prom, and having to go to college, and all of the very stressful things that we go through as teens. I said we, but I'm 23 years old. The next book we have here is The Bells by Danielle Clayton, and this is this really twisty, interesting fantasy series about a world where you aren't born with color, but there are these people called spells who can bestow color onto you and make you more beautiful. And it just sounds really fresh and original, which is exciting. And then we have Legendary, the sequel to Caraval. And I didn't think I was going to read this because I read the first one a whole year and a half ago. And I saw it on a shelf, and then it saw me, and then we stared at each other for a while, and then I took it home, and now I'm hauling it for you guys. Oh, it's still here? I wish I wasn't. Next book we have is A Reaper at the Gates by Sabata here, the third book in the Ember and the Ashes series that follows Leia and Elias and Helene, who are all on the cover this time, continuing their journey of, oh god, so much is happening, trying to kill each other but also teaming up to survive. And then I've got Price Guide to the Occult by Leslie Walton, and this doesn't have a book jacket, it's actually like this is the book, the hardcover, and it's got painted red edges, so that's amazing. And Leslie Walton is the author of The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender, which was a strange and beautiful book about a girl who had wings and whose family was cursed, and this seems similar in that it's a family of witches who were cursed. I don't know all that much about it, and I don't think we're supposed to know all that much about it. I think this book is supposed to be just like a dark, interesting surprise. You may have heard of this book, Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. It was one of the biggest books this year, and it's an African-inspired fantasy about a girl who lives in a land where magic has been banished, and she goes on a journey to save magic and restore it to the land and fight back against the really evil monarchy. And I've had it on my shelf for a while now. I'm finally hauling it for you, and I think I'm finally going to read it. Then we have The Hazelwood, which is an original, dark, twisted fantasy by Melissa Albert about a girl named Alice whose mom has always like had her on the run. She's never spoken of her grandma, who's this really famous fantasy author. Her mom goes missing one day and is taken by a creature who claims to be from the world her grandma created. And then we have another beautiful book, Furyborne by Claire Legrand, and this is a book about the Blood Queen and the Sun Queen, who are two queens set hundreds of years apart, and how their stories intertwine over the decades. And I've already started reading this. It's high fantasy, but it's already so amazing, and I'm excited to continue and finish this book. And then we have Heart of Iron by Ashley Poston, and this is an Anastasia retelling, except instead of music, there's action and it's set in outer space. So, yeah. And then I have an adult book, actually, Stations 11, which I got from my friend, thanks Olivia, for Christmas and Secret Santa. And this is told in two different time periods, I believe, before this pandemic broke out and killed off a bunch of people, and after, when this girl is in this traveling group of actors and musicians trying to perform for the people still left over. And I've heard, like, amazing things from it. The person bought it for me because she loved it so much, and so I am definitely going to read this one soon. And last but not least, I have Nevermore, which is a middle grade book that was actually recommended to me by Monica, who then convinced Sarah to read it, I think, and then Sarah convinced me to read it. I don't know. Just a train of friends recommending books, which is always fun. And this is about a kid who was born on the most unlucky day of the year. Unluckiest? Most unlucky? So his life's not been swell, but then he's invited to join this secret society of people, and he has to complete these 4 trials in order to get in, and it's been compared to Harry Potter, which is like a hefty comparison. I also didn't read Harry Potter as a kid and didn't love it, so it shouldn't affect me that much going in. Those are all the books. Thank you to anyone who is still with me at this point. I hope you enjoyed. I know I tried to rush through it so you could see them all and get a little bit about what they were about. And please comment down below with what you thought sounded the most interesting, or just like random thought you've got going on in your head. Subscribe if you want to see more, and like the video if you enjoyed. Thank you again for tuning in. I'm thanking you as many times as possible. My name is Michael BookLion, and I'll see you again soon-ish. You know you're filming a book haul when your shelf looks like someone accidentally fell into it and half the books fell off. That has happened before.